guys, welcome back to my channel. So I told you that I would be getting a first impressions up when I did my beauty haul, and that's what I've done today. I've done a first impression / review on a lot of the products that I bought. I did buy more because I'm capable. I don't know how I'm gonna fit it all when I go home, but we'll just figure that out later. I really loved a lot of the products that I tried out and I'm super happy with the result. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you would like to stay updated with my content, and don't forget to like this video if you enjoy it. But for now, let's just get right into the first impressions. So I'm starting out with a clean face and I have moisturized my face too. I also have a friend here because my immune system was down, so that's fun. And the first product I'm going to be using is the Rimmel Insta Fix Go, because this claims to be a 2-in-1 primer and setting spray. So you're supposed to be able to spray this on your face as a primer and set your face with it when your makeup's done as well. So let's just go in with that. The scent is very fragrant and it's quite a nice spray. It doesn't, you know, burst out your face and just drench everything. Quite a fine mist and it dries quickly, so my skin feels kind of tacky, but nothing that noticeable, so hopefully this works. Then on to foundation, I'm taking this Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless foundation. I've heard so many things about this foundation and I haven't seen it in South Africa. I don't know if it's there now, but this is for normal to oily skin and I've got the shade 250. It's actually a good thing that I have a bit of a skin issue right now because we can see how well this foundation covers it. It actually has a thinner formula than I thought it would have because it's supposed to have really good coverage and it's supposed to be matte, and normally foundations like that are thicker, but this actually feels quite light. The color seems to be quite a good match for me. It's not too pink because that's one of the things I really struggle to find, especially in London. A lot of the foundations are pink toned. And I know that every time I apply foundation to my face, it looks like it's the wrong color for me, but that's only because I put a really strong SPF on my face and I really protect my face from the sun. So most of the time I have to go for foundations that are quite a bit darker so that my face can match my body. So I would say this foundation has about a medium coverage because I can still see my freckles through, but the finish is definitely matte. This is the kind of matte foundation that I would prefer to wear because your skin will be matte without your skin looking cakey. So let me just put a little extra on in the center. It doesn't do a great job of covering blemishes and stuff, but I kind of prefer to go in with a lighter hand with foundation and then just use concealers to cover up any imperfections. Okay, so the color of this foundation is really good. I actually really like the finish of this. It's very light but matte, and it doesn't feel like I'm wearing a ton of makeup on my skin, which I personally absolutely love. It doesn't have a tacky finish, so that's really nice. So you don't have to feel like you have to set your face with powder, otherwise products will stick to it and stuff. It doesn't have that feeling. And you can still see my freckles and stuff. It's definitely buildable. So if you want a full coverage foundation, then you can definitely build this up to a full coverage. And the yellow undertone in this is perfect for me. Okay, now onto brows. I don't have a new brow product. I don't have a new brow pencil and I don't have a new blush and concealer. So those are the only things I don't have that are first impressions, but I'm just going in with my LA Girl Shady Slim Brow Pencil and filling in my brows. Okay, now onto eyeshadow. I'm just gonna prime my lids with the Maybelline Superstay Better Skin Concealer. I've used this plenty of times before, so I'm just going in with that. I'm just using this to neutralize the color on my lids, and it'll make the colors of the eyeshadows that I'm gonna use appear stronger and they'll last longer too. And then to set that, I'm using, this is a new product and I'm so upset about it because this is broken. Not like in a big way, I can just glue it back, but it's still upsetting. This is the Kick-Ass Soap and Glory Instant Retouch Pressed Powder, and it's in a banana shade, so that's why I really liked it. So we'll see how good it is at setting the rest of my face. But for now, I'm just gonna set my lid with this. Then for eyeshadows, I'm using this Collection Eyes Uncovered eyeshadow palette, and this is the Matte Nude Rose palette. This is one of their newer products, and it's just got all these rosy tones in it, and I thought it was really beautiful. These products are really quite cheap. You can tell because the packaging is quite flimsy. It's just cardboard. There's no mirror in it, which kind of sucks, but it's really cheap. I think these retail for about £5 or £6, somewhere around there. They're a really good value for money. I have the bronzy toned one at home. I really like that, so I thought I'd see how this one goes. So for the crease, I'm just going to take this orange shade right here and just work that into my crease. So it blends out really well. The color is buildable, but not that much. Like, I think this is as strong as I'm gonna get on my crease color. So the orange shade is really beautiful. I love this kind of subtle warm tone to blend into my crease because I think it's just a great way to soften it out, especially in the summertime. It just works really beautifully. Okay, moving on to lids. I'm going to take this pink toned shade here and just pat that onto my lid. Okay, so this pink tone shade is not the most pigmented color. It's pretty, but subtle. Okay, so to darken the outer corner of my eye, I'm gonna take this shade right here. It's like a light mauvey color, and this is just to add some depth to my eye. Okay, so I just blended out the edges with a clean 217. That color didn't make much of a difference, but it added the tiniest bit of depth. So what I'm gonna do is go in with the darkest brown shade right on the end there and see what that does. Okay, with this shade there is a bit of fallout. As you can see, I've got some dark shadow coming below my eye, but that's the reason why I like to do my eyes before my concealer, so we can just brush that away and then put concealer there. Because if you put your concealer there first, then this powder fallout would just mess that whole work up. So okay, so on my lower lash line, I'm just going to apply this orange shade. Then on the outer corner, I'm gonna take this dark mauve shade and work that into the outer half of my lower lash line. Okay, so my final thoughts on this palette are it is very pretty, and like I said, if you're a beginner in makeup and you're worried about making mistakes and that kind of thing, this is very forgiving because it's not a very pigmented palette. I would say that the colors are slightly buildable. I really like this orange shade for in the crease. The rest of the shades are not that pigmented. Okay, now onto concealer and contour. I'm going to be using this Rimmel Insta Duo Contour Stick. This is from the same line as the Prep and Prime Spray Mist. So on the one side there is a bronzer slash contour stick, and on the other side there is a shimmery highlight. To blend that in, I'm going to use this brush that I got from Primark. This is the Sculpt and Glow brush to define and highlight. So I'm going to take the larger side and just buff in that contour. Okay, so that blended out really easily. I wouldn't say that it blended to nothing, but it definitely has a natural finish. It was very easy to blend out and it doesn't dry out quickly, so you don't have to worry about applying it and then blending it right away because of lines. It blended out really easily, but like I said, it's definitely a warm tone, so it's more of a bronzer than a contour. And this brush is really nice too. It's got really soft bristles. It's synthetic hairs, but I'm not expecting it to last a really long time. This was £2.50, so really cheap, and I'm actually really impressed by this brush. Now before I go on to conceal my face, I got this NYX Dark Circle Concealer, so I'm just going to apply this under my eyes first. This is supposed to be like a color correcting kind of product, so it's a peachy tone which counteracts the dark purplish kind of colors under your eyes. Here, this is really tiny. This is in the shade DCC03, and this is the medium shade. It has a plastic film over the top. So there you can see it's more of a peachy tone. So you just apply this under your eyes before you apply your concealer, and it just does color correcting. So I don't know if you guys can see a difference on camera, but I can definitely see a difference in person. If you really want the darkness under your eyes to be gone, this is a really good product to go for because you don't have to rely on concealer and you don't have to apply layers of concealer to try and get that color to go away. The formula of it is very light. It was very easy to get out of the pot and very easy to blend away. It's very light, which is kind of what you want for under your eyes, because if you have a thick product there, you kind of opening yourself up to getting creases in that area, which is the last thing that you want. Okay, so that's color correcting done. Now onto concealer. And then to blend that in, I'm just going to take the other end of this contour and highlight brush. I'm very impressed with this brush. I can't believe it was so cheap. Both ends have blended in cream products amazingly. Okay, now onto one last cream product before I set my face. If you're wondering why I haven't applied powder, you want to apply cream products before you powder your face, otherwise the products can sometimes mix funnily. So I'm just going to take the highlighting in from this Rimmel Insta Duo Contour Stick and just highlight where I would normally highlight with this. And I'll apply it straight from the stick and see how that goes. This is a really beautiful color, but I think the way I normally like to apply this kind of product is to work it in with my fingers, because Otherwise, sometimes this kind of a product can just take your foundation off. So just take your finger and work it into the product so it can warm it up a little bit, and then apply that to your face. Okay, now to set everything. I'm taking my Kick-Ass powder and I'm just gonna set under my eyes with this. This doesn't have a load of a banana pigment, but it's a super light powder, which I really like. Now I'm just going to take my really big Morphe brush and powder through the center of my face. Now to set the bronzer on my face, I'm going to take another new product. This is the Topshop Bronzer, and I think this was the medium shade. Oh, this is the shade called Salute. This is what the packaging looks like. I think Topshop Beauty is actually really underrated, especially in South Africa, because it's such a small section of the store, so you don't really notice it that much. Most of the time, clothing brands don't really do other things that well. So I'm just going to set where I applied the contour stick. Okay, so this is a very pigmented bronzer, so just be careful with that. But I really like the color. I really like this bronzer. It doesn't have any shimmer in it, so it's completely matte, but I personally prefer that because if you want to be creating a shadow in your cheekbones, the last thing you want to do is for that to be attracting light. So definitely check these out if you can. The packaging is really sleek and beautiful, and a really good product from Topshop. Now for highlights, I'm going to be trying the Dior Skin Nude Air Luminizer. If you guys saw my makeup haul, which I'll link down below if you haven't seen that, I raved about this product because it looked so beautiful. So now it's time to apply it to my face. And I'm just going to apply this with my usual Inglot 6SS brush. Okay, this is really beautiful. There is no kickoff with this. There's no powderiness or anything like that. It's definitely not a natural product though. So pretty. I'm really happy with this product. It's gorgeous. Okay, I'm just gonna add a touch of blush. I'm just gonna add a touch of blush to my skin. This is the Milani Baked Blush in Luminoso. You guys know I've been using this for ages. Okay, now to set my brows, I'm taking this Barry M Take a Brow Shape and Define Brow Gel. If you guys are wondering, I was using the Rimmel one, and it was a really good brow gel. It was decent. It didn't do an amazing job of making sure my brows stayed in place, but there was a very little product in that little tub. As you can see, I mean, it's a small product, but hopefully this one will be good. And the way I comb my brows is just kind of up and out. The brush on this is really tiny. And I'm not the biggest fan of these see-through ones because the brush always picks up some of the brown product. So these see-through ones always tend to look a little manky towards the end. But if it's a decent brow gel, I don't really mind. Okay, now for mascara, I'm going to be trying this L'Oreal Volume Million Lashes So Couture mascara. I don't know why they have to put so many names in the title. The brush is definitely plastic. It has very short bristles on it that get shorter towards the tip. I kind of like plastic bristles, and I prefer shorter bristles as well because then I can really get to the base of my lashes without getting a ton of mascara on my lid. Okay, so I would say this is really good for lengthening and volumizing a little bit, but it's kind of made my lashes look fluttery and pretty. Okay, now for lips, I'm just going to be taking my Huge. This is the Essence Lip Line in the shade In the Nude, and this is the L'Oreal Lip Paint in Nude on Fleek. Then I think I'm actually going to add a gloss to this because the eyes are so matte. This is the Kylie gloss in the shade Literally. So that is this makeup look done. I would say all of the products that I tried out were really good. The only one that I'm like meh about is this one. If it was me personally, I wouldn't buy this just because I have so many palettes that have similar colors in. But like I said, if you're a beginner, I think this would be great because it's very affordable. It has a good amount of just pretty shades in. Yeah, that's who I would recommend this for. The rest of the products I really liked. Also, make sure you subscribe to my channel and like this video if you enjoy it. Join the family and you will stay up to date with all the videos that I post in the future. Sorry if I was a little bit off today. I've been sick for a few days and today is the first day where I kind of feel human enough to film, but I still feel meh. But thanks for putting up with me. If you stayed to the end, thank you. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!